Looks like we are back, everyone. Hello! So we are going to do a final zone run. This is being ran by Withhelde. How's it going?
Things are going quite well. Things are doing great. I'm excited.
Me too. I can't wait to see this game.
Oh yes, this is quite a fun game.
You'll have to tell me all about it. I'm actually new to this.
Okay. So, I guess I'm gonna start the game right now, and I'll explain throughout.
All right, countdown whenever you're ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. So this game is Final Zone. It's from it's one of the early Genesis titles and whatnot. The main reason I really like this game a lot is because it's by Wolf Team, and Wolf Team they're pretty much like the predecessors to Tri-Ace and whatnot, and they made a lot of the Tales games later on. So they're some pretty good people, and this is like one of the early games and whatnot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. I also really enjoy the music of this game as well. So in this game, you're a giant mecha. The name of the mecha is NAP, which is like New Age Power Unit or something like that. And it's taking place like 100 years into the future. And at this point, it's like all weapons of mass destruction have been destroyed and whatnot, and everything's done with conventional warfare. And the goal of this game is to locate and destroy the final weapon of mass destruction.
Oh wow. Okay, so how many levels and worlds are there in this?
So there's 7 stages and whatnot.
Okay.
Most stages are basically an overworld scene, which is basically you have to fight waves of enemies and whatnot. And then there's a boss at the end that you have to destroy. The way this game kind of works is there's going to be a wave of enemies that come at you, and you have to destroy those enemies. And then afterwards, there's a little unit or whatnot. It goes around this screen. It goes around the entire stage, and it spawns at a random point, and it's constantly moving. And you have to collect that. That is basically, it's supposed to drop a weapon for you. And the other cool thing about this game is your weapons are tied to the amount of health that you have. So for every piece of health that you have, it's considered it's a unique weapon that you can equip and whatnot.
Is there a specific HP you want to be at then to have a specific weapon, or is it just the better your health, the better the weapon?
All the weapon drops are set throughout the game, but there can be situations in which if you have too much health, you cannot collect the weapon. So you want to be at a middle amount of health, middle-high amount of health, because otherwise, you're gonna get to the unit and you're not gonna be able to collect the weapon. So which means you have to destroy the unit, and then afterwards you have to go off screen and wait for it to despawn.
Okay. Is there any moment where you have to be really low health for anything?
Generally yes and no. Like I said, as long as you're not at max health, you're generally good. And there's points in the game where it gives you 5 or 6. There's an area in stage 4 in which it gives you 6 health drops in a row, and one of them is essentially critical to beat the run.
Okay.
So, generally it doesn't hurt too much to get hit. But there's a lot of kind of faffing about trying to find where the random health container has spawned. And making sure you have enough health to collect it. And the other major thing is some of the drops in this game is so when you collect an item, it appears in the bottom slot in your inventory. So if you get hit, you lose whatever is in the bottom slot of your inventory of weapons. So if you collect a weapon that you kind of need and whatnot, you have to like go into the inventory screen and basically move it to the top. Just to make sure you don't accidentally lose that weapon that's going to be really useful at some point.
So is this randomly generated each time you play?
The enemies are in set locations, but the, you know, the health drops and the little, like, sub-enemies and whatnot, they're, like, the little, like, kind of, like, red things. The red things with, like, the white ball top. They are, like, randomly generated. And they just kind of, like, move around the screen and randomly shoot bullets and whatnot.
Okay. So now we're on stage 3?
This is
4?
stage 2 boss.
Oh, stage 2 boss.
Yes.
Oh.
Now we're on stage 3.
Ah.
This is the longest stage in the game. You know, you're required to kill 30 enemies to get through the stage. And it's just a lot of, like... And it has a lot of, like, little enemies as well. And little enemies can, like, scatter about, like, and hide in between, like, the walls and whatnot. So it's pretty critical that you get those enemies as soon as possible. And make sure they just don't, like, get away, fall away too much. So the main weapon that I'm using at this point is basically called Grenade. And Grenade is kind of a burst fire type of weapon. It has like really high DPS, especially for like a stardom weapon. And it's overall just really good. It doesn't generate... Another thing about this game is when you shoot and whatnot, this game can generate a lot of lag. So lag control is... You want to try to mitigate lag as much as you can. Generally that involves just not shooting and like making sure not too many enemies are on screen at once.
So you tend to know what they're going to spawn, and that's why you're moving in this direction.
Yeah, like I said, every enemy spawns in a certain location, but once they spawn, they can move around to wherever they want. And for like big enemies like tanks and helicopters, it's usually not a problem to find them. But for the little enemies, like the little fleas and whatnot, it's just kind of haphazard where they go. Like, for that wave, usually there's like the 6 of those like little gray enemies all in the same pile, like this. So when they're all in a pile like that and you find them soon enough, you can just like take them down all instantly and whatnot.
That's really nice.
And it's very nice, yes. So third boss is down. Now we're on stage 4. This is probably the most annoying stage in the game because your view is like extremely limited. You can't see like really what's around you and whatnot.
Is it supposed to be nighttime?
You're like in a cave.
Underground. Okay.
Yes. And not to mention that so one of the things you can do is when the little health things that have little do things or going around the stage and whatnot, you know, you can accidentally shoot them. And normally this isn't too much of a problem, like you don't get the health and you don't get the weapon if you do that. But one of the enemies in this cave, one of the health containers in this cave drops heavy napalm, which is one of the best weapons in the game, so it's very important that you actually pick that up and don't accidentally shoot it and have it despawn. So now we're on the stage 4 boss. It's like an auto rails, and it's like a giant spider. We just kind of
Shoot and move.
Yep, just shoot and destroy it. Easy peasy. So now we have like infiltrated like the base of which this weapon is held and whatnot, and we're like taking the elevator up. And in this like elevator shaft, there's like mechs and helicopters just trying to knock you down.
Will you still get normal health drops?
There is no health in this level. This is like the only
You have to be careful.
Yes. Generally the stage is pretty easy for the most, like, the helicopters are pretty annoying, and that enemy's a little annoying because they can shoot like homing bullets at you. And I'm at 1 health right now, so I'm like trying to take it really easy.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. So here's the stage 5 boss. This boss is basically a giant tank and whatnot, but the main issue is it also has like a lot of little enemies throughout the stage, like those little firing units. And this thing can shoot a homing missile at you. Wait, dang it. So basically what had happened is the homing missile shot out at me, and I was trying to like maneuver around it so it like goes off screen slowly, so it wouldn't fire an additional homing missile afterwards. But because I did that, I accidentally triggered my dash, which is surprisingly very easy to do in this game.
And it caused the missile to hit you.
Yeah, it caused the laser from the cannon to hit me.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes. So I kind of just ran into the laser. So this is stage 6. You're like you're actually inside the base now, and it's probably the hardest stage, just because of all the little random things that don't matter that like scurry around the stage and just are generally annoying. Instead of shooting normal bullets at you now, they're shooting like homing bullets at you. So you got like trash just shooting random homing bullets at you, along with like these spiders, and these spiders are nasty just because they can kind of like shotgun you if you get too close. Like if you like basically touch them, they will like instantly use like their like 8-wave like laser attack and hit you like 4 times in a row, because there's no iframes in this game. You can you can go from like full health to 0 instantly if there's enough things to hit you.
Oh no.
At this point, though, it's like I got a lot of health because, you know, so with a lot of health I can just kind of afford to be like a little bit like risky and whatnot, so I don't have to like worry too much at this point. I also can get the hunter weapon. The hunter is pretty much like the grenade. It shoots like a stream of missiles.
Oh, wow.
But the missiles are like just really powerful and whatnot. So hunter is going to be pretty good if I can like bring it into the final boss. Okay. Decent spawns. After this stage, pretty much from there on out is nothing but bosses. So this is like the last stage and your last chance to get health. So it's really nice to be able to like stock up a bit on health before like the final areas and whatnot.
That makes sense.
So we have like stage 6, the boss of this. is basically sort of like the mother brain, like the whole brain of this like base and whatnot. So you have like the little like side enemies who shoot lasers at you, and the main core shoots out like 8 homing bullets at you. So a lot of this boss is trying to just maneuver between the homing bullets.
Looks like you're still getting hit some, but like you said, you can afford to.
I can afford to get a little hit by it, plus it's like sometimes the pattern like gets a little bit off. Like what should happen is I hit the boss, I move back a little, one of the homing bullets comes like slightly to the side, then I go through the bullets.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and spend a little bit of extra time afterwards, just kind of like, you know. So this is the last boss. It's actually a little beneficial to die because grenade, the grenade weapon actually works a little bit better than the hunter weapon does. So it's not a big deal that, I died this. Whoa, okay, that's weird. Okay,
Whoa.
So sometimes this boss has like a little glitch. You know how it's like doing all the little explosions or whatnot? Sometimes one of those explosions would just kind of land on you, and because this game has no iframes, it just kind of like blows you up instantly.
Hit a ton in a row.
This boss also has like a nasty tendency to just teleport around. So if you like lose track of this boss, it's just gonna like randomly put to like a different area and whatnot, and like you have to go seek him out. And this boss kind of has like a lot of issues with it. Hey, got him caught. Nice. So that boss shoots out like a bunch of homing missiles and whatnot, and just like little bombs that kind of explode in, into like a multitude of missiles. And after you defeat that boss, you enter into like the escape sequence and whatnot. And the escape sequence. Yeah, this is the last part. The escape sequence is very annoying just because if you don't like generate lag, it's like near impossible to actually dodge anything. Just because the lasers just come at you way too quickly, and time is now.
Nice.
Woo. So.
Good work. That was cool.
Yeah, it's a cool little game.
Little shooter.
Yep. And you get like this awesome ending music sequence. So, that was Final Zone. A cute little game for the Genesis, made by a company who one day became quite awesome. But yeah, it's like you can just let these credits play out, and if you got any last minute comments, that'd be nice. Otherwise, I think we just can move this on to the next person.
Well, we really appreciate you joining us for this event, and you did awesome. This was really cool to see.
Oh, thank you. It was.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a really fun time, like playing this game again.
Yeah, for sure. This looks cool, and like it could be something fun to get into as well.
Oh yeah.
Also, guys, next up I have 2 things to say. One is that we are not going to be featuring the Super Mario RPG Randomizer Development Showcase this evening. So that will be in the next event. So just one more time, the Super Mario RPG Randomizer Development Showcase that was scheduled around 10:30 this evening will not be happening tonight, but it will be in the next event. Also, we have the Zelda 2 Reverse Boss Order run happening, and now that's in the right order for me. This is coming up next by Enchantress of Numbers. So stick around and you can see some more awesome runs this evening.
Yep. It's always a good time.